It's our good pal from SleeperU.com and thefantasyfootballshow.com. Now, of course, this being Week 14, a lot of teams are, this is for a lot of leagues, their start of their fantasy playoffs. So before we get to that, let's talk about the free agents that need to be targeted headed into Week 14. More injuries, more drama. Kareem Hunt dropped by Kansas City last week. I talked about it during the first segment of the program. I hope everybody listened to you last week when you said to pick up Spencer Ware for the handcuff on Tuesday night. And then come around, what was it, Thursday or Friday? Kareem Hunt released by Kansas City and Spencer Ware promoted to the starting running back spot.
Yeah, not going to pretend I predicted him being cut or released, but he was, in my opinion, one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable backups in the league. Jaylen Samules has been on my pickup list as well for weeks and weeks. And actually, he was a part of the number 2 bold prediction of the year on SleeperU.com, which was James Conner and Jaylen Samuels together back in August before the Bell injury, or the Bell holdout was even a reality. As a duo, and again, I'm not saying that, as I said on the thefantasyfootballshow.com recently. I'm not saying it to get a pat on the back, just merely to emphasize the fact that Jaylen Samuels is just as good as James Conner, and he's going to have a monster showing, I think, in Week 14 as he starts. But yeah, Spencer Ware, a lot of people are down on him after 40-something yards and a touchdown, but they were going into that game, Russ, not really sure what to do at running back. They were it was not a lot of time for them to react and game plan. And when you're throwing a running back in there as a starter, it's different. Spencer Ware's been pretty good in spot play, but he wasn't slated to start that game. So they had to do something different, kind of change approaches. And I think that they head into this week a little bit more prepared to run the football.
He's Smitty from SleeperU.com and thefantasyfootballshow.com. So you've got very little concerns about Stephen Ridley taking time away from Jaylen Samuels there in Pittsburgh?
I mean, anything can happen. Proven by this year, Russ. I mean, wow, what a bunch of craziness that we've had to endure as fantasy football fans. And but for the most part, I don't see him taking away enough carries that won't at least make Jaylen Samuels a top 10 running back on the week. Could they start Ridley, and could they go with a hot hand approach and Ridley get better looks and better usage? Possible. Everything's possible with the way things are going in fantasy football this year. But I think Jaylen Samuels, he's quick, he's shifty, he has a nose for the end zone. He scored almost immediately once he was used, once he replaced James Conner last week. He's just a shifty running back that I think if he gets the touches, and I believe he will, he'll have 100 total yards easily and a touchdown.
How about Justin Jackson with the Los Angeles Chargers? Melvin Gordon was expected to miss a few weeks with that knee sprain that he suffered in Week 13 or in Week 12. And Austin Ekeler, a lot of people thought that he was going to be the primary beneficiary of it. But Ekeler did not do that well this past week, whereas Jackson seemed to really come up and show something. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that I'm not surprised. I think Ekeler was, in my opinion, slated to get the starter touches. Jackson showed something the week prior, so I guess it shouldn't be all too shocking that he again had 60-something yards and a touchdown. But he only got 7 carries the week before, 8 carries last week. He's just doing really well in the yards per carry department with 8.1 the week prior, and then 7.9 this week. So. He's not getting fed the ball in a tremendous amount, but he's producing very, very well. So I'm not sure what to expect moving forward. I wouldn't count out Austin Ekeler as returning to his explosive self, and I wouldn't count out the fact that they might run the ball a ton through Jackson and then just throw a lot more to Ekeler, and they're both valuable. But either one, either situation I could see happening.
Kareem Hunt is now a free agent. He cleared waivers. Nobody claimed him. Not a big surprise right there. Nobody wants to be in the media right now taking somebody like Kareem Hunt, despite his obvious talents on the football field. And the latest news that there's 2 more incidents that the NFL is actually investigating involving Hunt. So the 6-game suspension could turn into a longer than 6-game suspension. But speculate for me, where do you think Kareem Hunt eventually ends up when he is eligible to play again?
I don't know that anybody can really predict where he's going to end up. I mean, the bottom line is this. Any team that looks to grab him right now is crazy because of the PR nightmare that would ensue the moment that they ended up bringing him on board. But I think that, he ends up getting another chance. I don't know that he'll even get it next year, Russ, because I think he's looking at a 6 to 8 game suspension regardless of these other issues that might pop up. And if there's a legitimacy to any of these, you're looking at, I would say, a minimum of a full season that he's going to be banned. And he's on the Commissioner Exempt List. We saw with Josh Gordon that when you're on that list, you're at the mercy of the commissioner. And his second half of his season next year is very, very much in question, even at this point.